Hi, sis. Mr. Ranch Turner representing Boston Bridges, Asia Tick in the house. Welcome aboard. Faith, how you doing? So tonight it's going to be one of those other special nights where we're going to have another night. It's going to be all about health and wellness. Keisha Christian is going to be speaking to us here on the Martine Show. And please come with your questions because it's going to have a lot of good stuff that she's going to be talking about, okay? And when you guys get into it, I want you guys to ask a lot of questions. It's a great learning opportunity for all of you, especially if you're looking to basically get into health and wellness, especially holistic. You know, if you're going towards that route, a lot of good stuff are going to be coming down, and she'll be able to basically broaden your horizons so that you could get enough suitable information for you to make that transition and actually make the substitutions for you to get to that part as well. Mr. Reg Turner. So yeah, so I want you guys to basically listen in as close as you can and be sure to ask your questions because a lot of good stuff. And I'll also be sharing information about her book here as well when she gets on. You guys will see how that conversation is going to flow. It's going to be another learning session from last week, a different form, but very educational as well. Thank you, everybody, for being on time. And now we're waiting for Miss Keisha Christian to come through. She'll be coming through on her handle of Dropping Gems. If you guys could share the live, I would appreciate it. Share the live. Dropping Gems is in the house. Okay, so let's get it here.
Hey, Martine. Maybe I should.
Hey, you're here. Okay. Yay, Keisha! I was like, what is going on? I'm so happy to have you on, girl. Oh my God. It's been a while.
I'm happy to be on. Thank you for inviting me.
You're so welcome. So everybody, this is one of my sister friends, Miss Keisha Christian, holistic, full-fledged holistic entrepreneur, you know, award-winning author as well. She's my sister author. And we're just doing our thing on each of our sides, but every now and then we collaborate. And what's good about it is that we're not the type of people where we constantly have to be in communication, but there's always a reunion time. And today is one of them, one of the reunion times that we've had in a little bit. So I'm really happy, super excited So on that note, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and then we'll go into the question parts afterwards.
All right. Hello, everyone, and good evening. My name is Keisha Christian. I am a holistic health and wellness educator. I'm also the owner of Dropping Gems, and I am the founder and lead instructor of my online school, Dropping Gems Academy for Holistic Studies. And I feel as though it's my calling to teach others how to live a healthy and holistic lifestyle. It's so important that we really look at different areas of our lives and we know how to work on different arenas within our lives that make us to be a holistic being. So that's one of my passions and what I love to do.
Yes. Okay. So without further ado, I want to go into first. I'm going to introduce your book to everyone. I want you to introduce your two books to everyone. Let everybody know about the holistics, but I also want you to allow people to know how simple it is to start the substitution into the transition to get into holistics. You get what I'm saying? I want you to explain that because there are a lot of people out there who are just like, oh my God, I'm used to eating a certain type of foods. It's very difficult for me to just cut off and then start eating healthy, but they don't understand how simple it is. So I want you to give them an anecdote as to how they can simply curve the road for them to get there.
Well, one of the chapters in my book, actually in both my books, is a chapter all about water. So one of the things I would always advise, definitely look at your water intake. How much water are you drinking, actually? Also, look at the foods that you're eating that contain water or have a high percentage of water. Now, in my book, I actually have water recipes because I've heard some people have actually said to me, some of my clients, water is boring. They don't like how it tastes. So I actually do have water recipes. I actually have one in my books here, Holistic Gems.
I have it here too.
How to treat seasonal and year-long allergies naturally. And basically that book is all about, I would say, basically your immune system, how to help boost the immune system. Even though I wrote it because I have been dealing with seasonal allergies all my life, and there are certain things that I do to help with me naturally, not having to take pharmaceuticals that I do to prepare my body for the season. So definitely, it's all about immune boosting. So going back to what I was saying, one of the things I suggest really drinking water, making sure you're getting your water intake in, and drinking it first thing in the morning. Definitely, because when you get up in the morning, what you're doing is you're giving yourself an internal shower by drinking water. Drinking as much as you can. I mean, for me, I could get up and drink 26 ounces of water, but this is something I've been doing for a long time. Other people, it might be a little bit more difficult. That's why I have the water recipes in my book. And to help someone who is not used to drinking that much water, to help you. As far as like putting lemon in the water, cucumbers, things of that nature. Things that are very high for hydration, so it would help with your skin, and it will help with your even your muscles and your bones and your joints. Adding all this into your incorporating it and making part of your routine is very important. So that's one of the things I would suggest.
Awesome. So as she mentioned, this book is called Holistic Gems. I actually purchased this book about a year ago. I believe when we were, was it a year? No, it's going to be 2 years almost. 2 years. Because that's when we were at the Verdell Jones conference, right? That was 2019. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yes, I have I have my signed version, actually, autographed version. So this book, I must say, I love this book. And what I like about it is that wherever you are in your life, you can always cross-reference this book. This is a reference book. This is not a book that you're going to buy and read it one time, because you have to keep reading it, because every time you read it, depending on where you are in your life, you read it differently and you understand it differently, okay? It's the same words, the same recipes and everything, but trust and believe as you grow into your journey, you receive it differently and you understand it differently. And then you will take these recipes and implement them differently every single time, regardless if it's the same ingredients, but you're doing it with a different heart, I would say. And that's what I find myself doing. And I want to tell you, I love this book. I really do. You know,
Oh,
this
thank
book,
you. I
yeah,
appreciate that.
this book, like, anybody who wants to know about the transition to go to go holistics, and I'll always tell them, check out this book because it's simple and easy. It's not worthy, like in terms of you're not going to understand what is being said. It's straight up and it's simple, you know, and you could really get it. So I love it. And it's not lengthy read, you know. It's something that you can actually read in a day, depending on where you are, or you go throughout the week, you'll be done with it. So it's a great book to pick up, and I love that stuff. So please explain, how did you actually get into the whole holistic journey? Because you did not only take maybe like a few steps, you made a whole life change, a whole lifestyle change to the point that you're actually teaching. So I want you to explain exactly what was your drive and how did you get to where you are right now.
Well, actually, what happened is, back, I would say in 2007, 2006. Actually, I could even go back further than that. So if I want to go all the way back further, one of the things with me, I decided to go natural. So that's where it started, actually. Me deciding to go natural and stop curling my hair is falling out. And then for some reason, once I went natural, I decided to change my diet. And part of that, me wanting to change my diet, is I was experiencing health issues. So, you see how things like kind of like it's like a ripple effect, or a domino effect, I should say.
Yeah.
So I wanted to change my diet. I was experiencing health issues. I was going to different doctors. They didn't know what was wrong with me. All sorts of doctors I had CAT scans done, MRIs, all sorts of things done. Everything, all the tests I was going to take came back normal. So I had a cousin who happens to be vegan, and she recommended that I go to her herbalist. Well, actually, it wasn't her herbalist, but it was the daughter of the herbalist that she's gone to, because she was here in the United States. Her herbalist lives in another country. So I decided to go visit the herbalist. And when I went to her, that's when my life changed, because I actually started to learn about, I didn't realize there was a connection with food and our bodies, and how the foods we eat actually give information to our bodies. And I mean, prior to that, I didn't like gardening, but now it's like it's my favorite hobby. I say it's one of my hobbies. I love gardening now. I didn't like it back then.
I'm the same way. Oh my God.
Once I started to learn about the relationship with food and the body, and how food gives information to our cells, and how food actually helps to heal certain ailments, that was it. That changed my life. And one of the things my herbalist did for me, because she knew I was a teacher, because I was teaching at the time too, she gave me books to read, and she also gave me titles of books to purchase, to read. And that really changed the course of my life to where I am right now. So I mean, that's just the thing. I just kept on that journey because I started feeling better, because going to the doctor wasn't helping. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. If you have an ailment or you have a sickness, please go seek medical attention. But in my case, when I went to the doctors, it really didn't do anything for me. I wasn't feeling any better. And what I believe too, in my case, I believe it was something on a spiritual level with me that was manifesting itself in physical. Our body speaks to us, and we have our body talks to us and tells us different things. And I really do believe it was on a spiritual level. It manifested, and then this is what I had to do. I had to change certain things in my life. I had to learn how to meditate. Never did that prior to this happening. You know what I mean? I would pray. I went to church at the time and all that, but I really had to learn how to meditate and how to be still and how to really listen. And like, like some people would say, well, God wants you to sit down and you
Mm-hmm.
don't sit down, God will make you sit down. And that's what
Oh
happened in
yeah.
my case. I was
I
I
know
was
about
made to
that.
I was made to sit down and really, really listen to what I needed to receive. And I mean, I am so grateful for that because I'm really walking in my purpose now. You know what I mean? I was called to be an educator, but at the time when I got that message, I thought it was to teach in a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize I was limiting myself and I was being called to a bigger classroom because, now we have the
Mm-hmm.
internet, we have our virtual world and
Yeah.
all that. So I was called to a bigger classroom to really teach and to use my gifts in the way I was blessed with. That's why I came up with the term, the name of my company is Keisha's Gems, because originally it was the gems that I was blessed with to share with the world. So those are my gems. And when I'm dropping gems, I'm dropping those gems of knowledge that I have learned through
Mm-hmm.
courses of study and all that I have done through my journey. As far as being going to school to learn about herbs and becoming a certified herbalist. I am now a certified holistic health coach. So
Congratulations.
I could help people in that arena. Reiki
Mm-hmm.
master. All these things happened once I decided to go on this journey.
One thing I have to say about walking into that journey and listening to your highest good when they just put you in that mode to be still. Once it starts to just develop and you go through so many different things. You're put in a route to not only read, pray, meditate, take courses. Like for me, it never ends,
Mm-hmm.
constantly doing something. And that's just the way that it is. And it really starts with becoming mindful with what you're putting in your body. What are you eating and drinking? That's how it all begins. And for me, it started automatically from the time that I had my myomectomy, removal of the fibroids. I was in recovery, and that's when it started. And then it never stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally understand where you're coming from with that. The other question I had for you was your company name. You pretty much answered it without me even getting into it. So I do enjoy that. Like she said, her company is called Dropping Gems. She's here under just Dropping Gems handle. And basically they are gems. No matter what year, what time, what day you pick up this book, it's always going to be like a form of a jewel for you. You're always going to learn something new, and you're always going to receive it differently. And that's the experience that I've had with the book. So I'm really grateful that I had purchased this book because it has helped me in so many different ways. And even though there are things that I knew already, but you receive it differently when it's being taught from a whole different handle, like it's a whole different vibe. And it's just the information becomes different after a while. So I enjoy that. And you also have healthy gems.
Yes, Healthy Gems, Nourishing Practices and Self-Care Tips for Busy Individuals. And that's actually my first book. I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
out of stock of that book. The first one I'm out of stock of. That's why I didn't show it. But
Okay.
it is available on Amazon if anyone wants to purchase it. I
Okay.
just don't have any more autographed copies available. I sold out of that book
Okay.
this summer.
Now, what I love about this book here, it gives you a little bit of everything, especially like if you're really just fresh and new, just starting out into self-care, self-love, and you have no idea where to start. Like this book, I would definitely recommend this book first, and then you go into this book second. Like the green book here, this book is more like I want to elevate myself, and this book is like I just started my journey and I need to find myself. So
Definitely. Thank you.
yeah.
I'm happy that you noticed that too because that's the first book. So I wanted to make it really simple. That's why it's only 75 pages long.
Yeah.
Very short read. You could sit and read that book in a day, but I made it so more so of a reference book. So it's also small. You could, if you, a woman, you could carry it in your purse. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you want to reference it, that's what it's there for you to reference.
It's awesome. And we have recipes in this book as well, detox recipes, but there's a part here that I enjoy a lot, and I want to find it. It's the section that you have here on essential oils. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember when I had purchased the book, like I knew about essential oils, but I didn't really understand the nature of essential oils, to tell you the truth. I mean, I utilize them in my hair. I mean, that's from like, being being young, and then my grandmother did it, so I did it too, stuff like that. But when I got to the section where she spoke about essential oils, she broke down exactly um, the reason why you would use like lavender, peppermint, frankincense, and eucalyptus, especially, that I enjoyed. And not only she broke it down, she made you understand as to what they're good for, you know. And a lot of people, they're like, oh, I want to get into essential oils, but I don't really know what I can use them for. Or they start like just mixing everything together. And there are a lot of times where people do not understand some oils do not need to be mixed with each other. Like they don't complement each other. So with
Mm-hmm.
this book here, I was able to really understand like the essential oil groups, I want to say, and with you, the way that you explained it so simple, then I became more familiar with essential oils. So I'm glad about that. I wanted to let everybody know that that's available in your book as well. Prayer and meditation is in the book. Your section on aloe vera, I fell in love with it. And that actually put me at a point where I made a video on my Faces of Uterine Fibroids YouTube channel referencing aloe vera, because
Nice.
of the way you had it broken down. I was like, I want to do one because I use aloe vera, but I don't understand. Like, there's so much information. Which parts do I need? What do I need to, implement? Like, what do I take? What do I leave out? And then once I read that section, I was able to do like my video. So I want to thank you for that. That was like really, really good. This book, guys, like I said, both of these books, okay, they're on Amazon. I mean, by all means, I'll be putting down the reference for them as well so that you guys could actually take a look and get them. But the journey here with holistic medicine never ends. That's one thing I want to tell you guys. We have the expert here. I call her like she's my friend, but she is the expert, and not only in my eyes. I mean, she's certified expert, so you just got to
Thank
say
you.
it
I'm
like
so
it is.
humbled by that. To
No,
hear
it's true. It's true because like I tell people this all the time, like on my journey, um, for me to be healed with the fibroids, I went to my regular doctor. From my regular doctor, then I was going to OBGYN. From OBGYN, then when I was done with the actual surgery, I actually went to see a holistic practitioner, you know, and I needed to see an expert in holistics because I needed to really get onto my healing process post surgery.
Mhm.
That's a whole different journey, and it takes a while. Healing is not something that you just wake up and be like, I'm healed. you know it's continuous. It's done in little bits and pieces. And when you're healing, it's not just physical, it's mental and emotional. It's all
Yeah.
tied in together, and it's
Spiritual.
also
Yeah.
spiritual. Okay, so going to this holistic practitioner, and then I went to see a womb healing specialist, okay, who
Mm-hmm.
specified specifically in the healing of the womb because that's what I needed post surgery. Okay, that's when I got more in depth into what holistics really is, but it was specified for my specific needs. So I'm saying this to you guys for you guys to understand, like, holistic medicine is not general. It's like health and wellness. It's like the medical field, but you have different sections. We have a whole sections for womb healing, for women that's dealing with the female reproductive issues. And we have a whole section for The same way they have for women, they have for men as well. So for the men
And the
who are watching, you know,
yes.
there are quite a few healing mechanisms that you guys can adhere to and, you know, learn about if you go to a holistic practitioner, you know, things that
Definitely.
you may not want to discuss, you know, you could do that with the holistic practitioner because that's what they're there for. And not only that, there's another thing that I remember that you do. You actually make your own. I remember you said you make your own lotions, your toothpaste. You make your I don't know if it's bath bombs or scrubs. Like you make it
I
all.
make my own. I make my own personal care products. So once I started
Yeah.
living this lifestyle, I really don't buy anything. Like when I go to the grocery store, to me that's for ingredients to put into my products. So what the things that I'm putting in my products, they're actually edible. So that's one thing with me. I make my own deodorant. I make my own laundry detergent. I make my own toothpaste. I've been making my own toothpaste for years. People talk about my teeth. Yeah, I use my own toothpaste. I've been doing it for years. Go to the dentist. I have no issues, no cavities, nothing. And then, yes, I do go to the dentist just to
Of
check
course.
up. You get my cleaning. I go to the doctor, got to check up, make sure, go to the doctor. They tell me what great health I'm in. So I like to, those are things I do as far as like cleaning products. I make my own cleaning products as well. And I actually talk about that in the book, how to make your own cleaning products with simple ingredients. So those are the things that I incorporated in my life. Like I took this all the way. Some people will say to the extreme. Like I like to grow things now. Now that we're winter, I'm doing sprouting. And that's one of the things I also talk about in the book, sprouting and
Yes, you do.
microgreens, the importance of it and how nutrient dense it is to get those things into your diet. And the fact that you could grow it, especially, and it grows best in the winter, actually, more so in the summer. So now is like a really good time to actually start growing your own sprouts. Like I grow my own alfalfa sprouts. And they actually last longer, I find, when I grow it myself than when I buy it at the store. I find that it spoils that.
So
Yeah.
with your sprouts, I want to ask this question because I know that during the winter, especially us who are in the winter areas where
East
it snows
Coast.
and all
Yeah.
that stuff,
East
we
Coast.
we don't get as much light, because I'm having an issue like that in my living room with some of my plants. Now, my aloe vera plant does not need much care. Like she is just super happy
No,
by the
not at
nature
all.
at all. She's very like, leave me alone. This is my spot. I'm good. But I have like my money tree has dried out a bit, and I also have another plant which comes from Haiti. They call it Lugaru plant, but the thing about it with it, it needs a lot of sun. So it goes around all year. It gets really big. It kind of looks like the banana plant, that you guys have. Okay, it kind of looks like the banana plant with big leaves, a lot of leaves on it. But during the winter, because of the lack of light, when you put it inside, it starts to like wilt down.
Well,
It doesn't die per se because it's a type of plant where if you see it really like losing its sense of self, you could just take a branch, put it in a cup, and it starts to just develop on its own, and you continue like into infinity, to tell you the truth. But the lighting, how are you dealing with that?
oh, I use grow lights in my house.
Oh, you do the LED
Yeah,
lights.
because
Yeah.
I don't have the best lighting in my living room, and
Mhm.
so I personally use grow lights. I only have one room in my house that has good light, but I can't put all my plants in that room. So
Yeah.
and I want plants in my living room and my dining room. So what I do is I just use grow lights.
Grow lights. Okay. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
what
I
I
need to
do.
look into, grow lights. I mean, I was looking into LED lights from Home Depot or whatever, and I was just like, oh, I'm not really sure. Let me see. And I said, you
Yeah,
know
but I
what?
went
Let me
on
speak to you.
Amazon. I went
You
on
went on
Amazon.
Amazon?
Yeah, they have grow lights. They have some grow lights with a stand. where you could just like, it's on a stand, a tripod, I should say, and you just spread out the lights. It might have several lights on it. You spread it out, and it could just be over all your plants. So that's what I've been using. I actually have about 3 of them because I have a lot of plants. I have like over 20 plants.
Wow.
I'm a plant mommy.
Yes,
I am
you
a plant
are.
mommy. Yeah, that's why I had a chapter in this book. I have a chapter in this book all about whole house plants and how they help with the air, because there's actually a NASA study that was done. I believe it's 2016. If I'm saying the year correctly, but they actually talk about certain plants that help to filter the air. So those are the plants I actually have in my house that help with filtration of the air.
Okay. So I remember on Facebook you used to do a lot of the lives to share a little bit about, you know, every topic that you would pick for holistics. You don't do that anymore, but I know you're still active because now you got the virtual summit that you do, which is the school, right?
Yeah, well, actually, the reason why I had to stop doing the lives because I got offered a show. So I actually have a show that comes on in 3 states. It's called Dropping Gems. So it's airing on Comcast Cable in 3 states. So in Delaware, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania is 3 counties, Wilkes-Barre and Scranton, Pennsylvania. So that's part of the reason why, because I've been so busy shooting for that show and putting out content for that show. Also, you could see the show on my my YouTube channel, Just Dropping Gems TV. That's Dropping Gems with the Z. So I have episodes of my show on there. So that's actually why I stopped, but I need to start doing that again. Definitely.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Ranch Turner says salute to you. Yes. I told you guys, she is, when I talk about gems, she got the perfect name. She is a gem, okay? She got a lot of stuff going on and it never ends. Is it the same show that started on Roku?
Yes, actually it was. That's the show that because you know we I think it was around the same time, or did I start a little before? You remember we had a podcast? We both started.
Yes.
You did your podcast, I did mine. Well, my podcast turned into a show. So I was offered a show. So I was like, oh, cool. So my show is still on Roku TV and it's now on Comcast Cable as well in those 3 states. So
that's awesome. Oh my God, congratulations. Because I was wondering what happened, but then I did see the Roku advertisement. And then afterwards I was like, you know what? I have to find out. So just like you, we all transitioned because from podcasting, then I went to YouTube, you know, so that's where all my stuff is now.
I used to do audio, but I was being told people want to see me. They want to see my face. And to be quite honest, I don't like being like in the limelight. I don't like being up front. I don't like that at all. I don't like being up front. So I was fine behind the mic just talking. You know, you just hear my voice. But you know, as we talk about, God said nope.
Oh my God, this is exactly what I was talking about on my last show on Tuesday, because 2020 was not playing with me. God and the Spirit guys were just like, hey, you know, you need to have your own thing happening where you create your own visibility. And you guys knew how I was about that. I was like, yeah, okay. Like I would do a few interviews and the tapings I get from those interviews was good enough for me. You know, I didn't feel like I needed to put myself out there. Well, long story short, I ended up, I was directed basically on this app where it's called Rizzle and it's all video. You know, it's a short video app. So I went on there and that's how my video journey started. And then to now I have 30.
Congratulations. I saw that. The amount of views you have. Oh, congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. From views to followers. And then from there, I started to pick up my YouTube and was like, then I need to do something with Faces of Uterine Fibroids so that I can continue on with that journey. So that's how the YouTube came about. And I started basically taking audio from the podcast to put on YouTube. And God was like, you cheating. Like, like really? No. So what I did afterwards, I started creating some videos where my face was not showing, but my voice was on. And then
I did the same thing.
And then I swear to God, like I had a dream.
I had a dream, and it was like literally like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, don't you listen? Like, just do the freaking thing. Like, get out there. So then now I came here. I'm on Instagram, and then they're like, okay, you gotta, create this new platform where you're reaching out to people. So here I am doing these lives, and then from doing the lives, then I'm like, okay, I need to pick up really on this YouTube, and then I started showing my face and doing videos where I was speaking. So it's just like I'm glad you understand what that all is all about, because when I tell people this, they're like, why don't you like being upfront? Like, you're an award-winning author, you got this, you got that. I'm like, you just don't understand. Like, if it wasn't for me, I would have none of this. It's not me. Okay.
No, I say the same thing too. People tell me how smart I am. I'm like, it's not me. I tell you, I'm just following. I'm getting messages, and I'm just doing what I'm being called to
do. Obedience. Like, people do not understand when you live a life where it's spirit led, and because of your obedience is how you get rewarded. It's not because you sit there and be like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, it doesn't go that way for us. We're called, and we answer the call based on our obedience, because we already know not answering the call, what could happen, because we've been there before. So we make sure that we're good in that area. But then with that being said, of course, you get rewarded. There goes the recognition. But it's not like from our personal self saying that, I didn't have on my vision board that I was going to become an award-winning author. I know I'm going to share my story, then yeah, I became an author, but I didn't know it was going to go to that route. And neither did you. They could have told you about the TV show, right? And you would have been like, yeah, right. But then
someone actually did tell me. Someone did actually tell me they see me doing a TV show called Dropping Gems. And that's after I just published my first book. And I'm like, I'm just trying to get this book out here. Talking about TV.
Yes.
So I couldn't see myself. And like, now I'm actually doing it. I can't believe it.
Yeah. So I'm glad you shared that, because you know what? That's the real part of us. And that's something that I need everybody to understand and know. It's just like when you are on the route to be doing things, people need to understand, like, you're not always operating from the flesh. You're operating from spirit. And it's a whole nother level. It's a whole nother dimension. And it's not, a lot of times it's not even just you specifically speaking. It's what you're led to say. It's what you're led to do. And you're never going to be led to say the wrong thing. Even if it lands differently for some people, like some people are triggered or whatever, that's just the way it was supposed to land for you, But as far as us, we're clear as to what we're doing, because we're on this route where we are fulfilling our purpose, and that's it. So that's huge. That is so huge. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy for you, though.
Thank you.
I really am.
Much. I'm happy for you as well. I love what you're doing. I'm so proud of you, and I see you on Facebook and see what you're doing, especially with your book and how that's even evolved with your podcast and other things that you're doing. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I mean, as you know, we know each other for a bit now. It hasn't been an easy road. We have our days. There are times where we don't even want to show up, but we do show up, and it's, people do not understand that, though. You don't understand how you, as a person, you go through many different transformations in order to present yourself correctly to people, because you're being looked at to inspire and motivate others. But in order to do that, you have to be correct within yourself. And it's not that simple. We're human as well. And we go through the processes all the time. And then we have to push ourselves, and we have to find either, a way, like we have to find our own source to be able to be like, all right, today was like a bad moment, we just had, but then how do I get out of it so that I can keep moving forward? Because I need to show up for my show later on. You get what I'm saying? And be clear about that. So it's a lot of transformation that happens. A lot, a lot. From the time that we wake up, from in the middle of the day, in between work, and by the time we're doing our show, there's a lot that goes on for us to be able to show up and be correct.
Most definitely. Yes, most
Yeah.
definitely.
For sure.
Well, one of the things I wanted to mention, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. One of the things I wanted to talk about, because you mentioned it earlier, so I wanted to reiterate it. I am having a summit. It's actually my very first summit. It's called Loving on You Virtual Summit. It's going to be taking place from March 10th to the 13th. And one of the things I must say I love about this summit is I'm going to be really focusing on the mind, body, and spirit of someone who's looking to journey into that self-care and self-love and knowing what it is to really love on you and love on yourself. So that's really the premise of the summit. And besides the 3 days, I also have a networking day, and there'll be a day for vendors, and really if people want to get together and make business contacts, or even cultivate friendship or anything like that during that day. I'm also going to have entertainment that day. So I'm really excited about this summit. It's like really good things, putting things together. So
nice. When is this supposed to happen?
Oh, March 10th through the 13th. So it's Wednesday, March 10th through, it's going to end on Saturday, March 13th.
And it's all online?
Yes, it's online. It's going to be on airmeet.com.
Airmeet.com. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you could actually register at lovingonyoussummit.com.
Lovingonyoussummit.com. Okay. I'll definitely write that on your description for the live as well, so that we could have people go to it and everything. I love everything that you're doing, for real.
Thank
you.
If anybody too, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I feel like I keep doing that. If anybody wants to go to my page right here on Instagram, and you click the bio, you'll see there's a link to the summit as well to register. I actually have different tiers. So there's a VIP tier, which is actually free. So essentially it's free. You get an ebook, and also you get to go to the social lounge and meet the panelists and ask questions and all that. So it's going to be a really great time.
And it's all virtual people. It sounds like it's face to face, but it's all virtual.
Yeah, I tried to make it. I wanted to do a really immersive experience, something beyond like Facebook, or even doing it on Zoom. So I found that today would be best.
I'm glad that you're actually finding other ways to virtually appear, because Zoom is oversaturated at this point right now.
Everyone's on Zoom, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the other one is Google. Is it Google Meet they call it, or something?
Yeah, Google Meet.
That one is pretty much oversaturated at this point as well. But Zoom is just way out of line. Like, there are times you get on there and it's just not working properly, depending on, I guess, maybe the time or something, like too many people may be on sometimes. I mean, other than that, it's okay, but it's just like right now, it's becoming an issue because so many people are actually utilizing it.
Yeah, so many people on it. So
yeah, I'm glad that you're finding other ways, and and like they say, when there is a will, there is a way. You're always gonna find a way to do your stuff. Another thing is that, have you appeared in any other conferences besides the last one? Like, have you done anything online virtually thus far from 2020 on?
No, 2020 was really a slow year for me, I would say, as far as I really took that time to, that's when I stopped doing my lives. So I really took the time to be still. And that was around the time too I started my show. So that was like really my focus. It wasn't to speak anywhere or do anything. So now this year, I want to make myself more visual.
Right. One thing I want to speak, I know we're both spiritual, and 2020 was definitely a year for spirituality. the rise of a lot of people. Many of us have gone through a spiritual ascension, and I wanted you to pretty much share a tidbit of what was spiritual ascension like for you in terms of your experience, and how did it change you?
Well, like I mentioned before, it was really time for me to be still and to hear the message I was supposed to receive. A lot of it, I realized I was getting into a comfort zone. So really coming out of my comfort zone. And as I was talking about before, where I got the message, people want to see you, really see all different aspects of me, so
Mm-hmm.
that was one of the things I was receiving, really getting more into meditation, because I had the time to really sit and really be still. I didn't have that time before, so I really used that time. And also, um, I am a creative person, period. So it really gave me the time to really tap into things that I hadn't done in a long time, like making jewelry. When I first started my business, that's what I did. I made jewelry and sold products. That's all I did. And when I started writing my books and doing things like that, I stopped making jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
That's so it was like I had time to return to that side of myself. So really um tapping into my creative centers. So that's what it did for me.
Nice, nice. I'm glad I asked you that question. I mean, like I said, for me, 2020 just pushed me out, was like, get on video, more visibility. You got to do those videos. Like, it was so loud in my ear to a point that it was scary. It's like, you got to get on video. You got to get on video. And I was just like, oh my Lord. And at one point I said, if I don't do this, I don't know what's going to happen. I just need to just start. And that's how I ended up on the Rizzle app. It was just a starting point for me, an opening, and I just had to do what I had to do. Yeah, and that's the thing about listening. When you do listen, you do receive those messages, and you just like get up and say that, let me just do this, you know,
Mm.
because I've been there before where I've heard things, and it's like, oh, later, 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 then brush it off, and then you're like, why am I going through this? What's wrong with my life? Like, so I'm glad that I was able to just make that flip and just do what I needed to do so that I could be where I am right now and still pushing through.
Yes, exactly.
So that's it's been an experience. It's been an experience. Like everyone that I interview, I always try to ask them if they're more or less spiritual about their spiritual ascension, and some are just pretty much saying the same thing. But like, I just needed to do what I needed to do. Like it was real. So I'm glad that you're here with us. I'm glad that you're kicking and moving forward, because so to speak, everybody didn't make it through. We did lose a lot of people along the way, but at the same time, we're still here, and I'm grateful for you to still be here, still educating people, still letting people know about holistic medicine, and for what you have poured into me. I am totally grateful about that.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm
Very,
humbled
very
by that.
grateful. Yeah. I just wish that we could actually see each other in terms of like physical,
Yeah,
but
hug you.
yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, but definitely looking forward to another opportunity for us to see each other again physically. Who knows? Maybe at another Vidal Jones conference. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, they didn't have it in 2020. They didn't
No.
have it in 2020. Yeah. Because they couldn't have it in 2020. But it's just so funny. Like when I was starting to come on with you today, I said that, the last time I actually saw Keisha was at Vidal's conference. I was
No,
like,
we saw each
oh,
other after that.
we
Remember
did
you
after.
yeah, the Achi Award.
Oh yes, at the Achi Awards. Oh my goodness, you
Yeah,
were
I think
there.
that was the last time I saw you.
Yes, you were there. Okay. All right. All right. So then that even with the Achi, um, which is a women's conference for those who don't know. Basically, they didn't have anything happen last year either. So that was canceled. The last time, yeah, was 2019. And then that was it. Wow. Well, I'm glad that we have the time to catch up for today.
Definitely.
Is there anything that you would like to leave anyone with in terms of advice?
Well, one of the things I like to leave, especially now that's coming to me, is really be mindful of your thoughts. On my show, I actually do meditative moment, and I actually have a challenge called the Meditative Moment Challenge, where I encourage everyone every day, daily, to take time to do positive affirmations. So it's so important that you check your thoughts, because I know one thing with me, there are times I do deal with imposter syndrome. That's a real syndrome where we feel as though there are times where I will actually say, oh, I don't know if I could talk about that. I'm not smart enough. And then I'll have I have such a good circle of sister friends. I must say I'm blessed about that. They'll look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, are you serious, Keisha? You know more than some people are. Yeah. What are you talking about? So there are times where I do go through that. So I really need to, I have my positive affirmations that I have on my refrigerator. I have it in my bathroom. I have it in my bedroom. I have it in my office right above my desk. They're all around me because words have power. And I definitely believe that we have to be mindful of that energy that we're putting out there, especially self-talk when we're talking about ourselves. So for me, that's something that I would leave with the audience. Take time to take a meditative moment, say your positive affirmations. You could even watch Meditative Moment on my show. It's one of the segments. My show has 3 segments. Meditative Moment, Dropping Gems in the Kitchen, and then my last segment is actually interviews that I do. So definitely check that out and see the different affirmations that I have on the show, positive affirmations and the guided meditation that I take my audience through.
Awesome. Yeah. Let me just double check here real quick and see if we have any questions. Do you guys have any questions here in terms of anything that you would like to ask Ms. Keisha Christian, the holistic entrepreneur, before she leaves out? If you guys have any questions, by all means, you can put them in the chat. Any last questions? We have some great comments. A lady says aloe vera is amazing. Yes, totally amazing. It's good for everything. It's one of those things that it helps you with everything. It heals all. And I think in the house, it's always important for you to have that plant there. I've used it for burns, while I was cooking, and it heals it right then and there. No issues whatsoever. You could use it for your hair, the aloe vera gel. It helps your hair grow, hydrates it, and so many different things that you could, there's aloe vera juice that you can make.
Good for the digestive system.
Exactly. So it's nonstop. But it seems like that's about it. Oh, Mr. Ranstrana says that he had to leave. Okay, great. All right. So thank you so much, Miss Keisha Christian.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Definitely. And the most important part is that we had you in for Black History Month. So congratulations on everything that you are doing, everything that you've been doing, and all that you continue to do. Thank you for representing us well, and just keep moving forward.
Yes, I definitely will. Thank you so much for having me, Martine. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
I feel honored.
You are. You gotta be honored, girl. You know how I feel about you. You know. Oh my goodness. Like I always say, if I'm gonna go someplace, I'm gonna take people behind me, and you're always one of those people I take behind me.
Yes, I noticed that, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much.
Yes, for sure. All right. So you take care and have a great one.
All right, you too. Blessings
All
to
right.
you. Bye,
You too.
everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.